What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 video. Now in this video, I'm sure you saw in the title and in the thumbnail, this is going to be my full review and thoughts on hardcore mode in the Division 2. I have recently beat the entire game of the Division 2 on hardcore mode solo, and I felt like this would be an opportune time to tell you what I think, how they could fix it, and how you can play it. Because believe it or not, a lot of people still don't even know that hardcore mode is in the Division 2. So, with that being said and done, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think, what level your hardcore character is at, and all of that good jazz. If you are new to the channel, subscribe and ring that notification bell. That way you get notified every time I bring you another Division 2 video. But alright, so here is my hardcore character. The first thing to note is that it actually looks cooler in the main menu than a normal character. So if I scroll over, you can see how the lighting has changed. It's a lot brighter. Even the character itself. So when you switch over to hardcore, it gets darker, a little bit more contrast. Looks pretty cool. Now to start a hardcore character, you have to have a open slot in your main menu. Meaning I have 4 characters here. So if you have, say, 3 characters, you can make one hardcore character like I did. But it has to be done at the beginning of the game. So when you go to start a new character, you have to start that new character in hardcore mode. You'll see in the main menu, it'll say, do you want to start a normal game or do you want to start a hardcore mode game? And then it'll say in parentheses, beta. Because apparently this was, and still is, in the beta part of development. Even though everything is there, you can do anything you want. There's certain rewards and stuff that we will get through. But it's still considered in the beta phase. They have not touched this since release, and they have not said anything about hardcore mode since. To be completely honest, I feel like this was just like a copy and paste of a different Tom Clancy game, and they just gave it to us to hold us over before new content was released. And then once that new content was released, they kind of just swept this under the rug and have yet to ever talk about it since. I did just make a Twitter post the other day talking to the devs and asking them an honest question. You know, hey, it took me what does it say on here? Time played 2 days and 2 hours. So it took me, 50 hours to beat the game completely solo on hardcore, but yet there are 0 rewards or additional anything from level 30 to 40. Meaning all of the year 2 stuff you can do on hardcore, but you don't really get any special rewards. Now, what I mean by that, let's actually go into the character so I can show you more and not just talk to you. Now, if you guys don't know what hardcore mode is, hardcore mode means you cannot die. If you die in the game, it will send you back to the main menu. It'll tell you how long you played on that character, and then it will delete all of that progress, and you have to start over from level 1. So if you got all the way to Warlords of New York and you died on Keener and you were level 40, you will go all the way back to level 1, and then you have to replay DC and Warlords of New York. Now you can see I'm in DC. My watch level is 0 and my season level is 0. Here is my very first little thing about hardcore mode. Your watch does not sync up with your other watches on your other characters. So if you have 4 characters that are in normal, they all have watches that sync up. You can have all the materials sync up and whatnot, and then you're good to go. However, on hardcore mode, it's its own thing. So now I have to go through my watch level and level it up again in hardcore mode. So you can see right here, I don't even have the others unlocked because I beat it on hardcore and then I basically just let the character sit here. So the first thing I would say is a disadvantage is once you reach level 40, you don't get your watch synced up with your other characters. So you would have to completely refarm the entire game all over again just for the hardcore character to have a watch level that's decent. Because right now I'm missing, you know, the 10 or sometimes 20% of certain attributes because I have to completely do this over from scratch, which is fine. It is hardcore mode and it is its own thing. However, there are other things that you can share over. Now, what I mean by that is if we go to my resources, these are the same resources that are on all of my characters. So I can share resources within my hardcore character. And then if we go into the base of ops, and we go over here to my blueprints, I still have all the blueprints that I had on my other characters. So you get to share certain things with your hardcore character, but there are certain things that are left out. Now the watch level was not introduced until year 2 of the Division 2. So it is possible that they just didn't update this game mode to reflect that like they did with all the other characters. Because like I said, once hardcore mode was released, they never really talked or updated it in any way, shape, or form. So that could be just one thing that they could just, you know, flip a switch and next thing you know, you're good to go. But yeah, that's one of the things missing. Now, oh, hey. Holster Intel. Go West Young Agent. Okay. I'll do that later. Alright, so the next thing I wanted to show you guys for the hardcore character is you can actually farm for gear, materials, weapons, all of that, and transfer it over to your hardcore character. It's kind of like a little bypass system. So what I mean by that is you go to your stash. Your hardcore character does not get a stash. I'll repeat that again. Your hardcore character does not get a stash. So if you see this, I opened it up, all I get is the mailbox, and then I get my inventory. So you can only hold up to 100 items on your hardcore character before you have to start dismantling. Now in the mailbox, you might see I have some deliveries here. Now this is one of the things that can help you progress or at least get a decent build in hardcore mode. What I mean by that, let's go into deliveries. These are all conflict caches. What I do, I do play quite a bit of conflict, and what I do is on my other characters, I will keep 20 caches on my person, and then all the rest of my conflict caches go into the deliveries section of the stash. And then I can come over here to my hardcore character, go to deliveries, and pick it all up. It's a very, very easy farm to do for your hardcore character without being at risk of dying. Because I don't know about you guys, but I think I only know like 1 or 2 people out of everyone I've played with that even have a hardcore character. It's very rare to see people play on hardcore mode, and for me personally, I've just been doing it solo this whole time, so this is the easiest way for me to farm personally. That way I don't go out there and maybe get ambushed and die very quickly. So my character's level 40. You can see I'm only a Shade Watch level 1, but this is my current build for hardcore mode. And I actually got all of these pieces from my conflict caches. I do have a level 40 Pestilence. I've got a pretty nice M4 with Strained. And then I've even got some nice Y'all gear. Now everyone knows Y'all gear is specific to like PvP drops, whether it be Dark Zone or Conflict. And look at that, I even have death grips on this character. Now, what I do is I just go over here and I'll open my conflict caches. It's a very, very easy farm because I can sell it for credits and I can break it down for materials. However, your materials are shared amongst each of your characters as long as you enable that option. But your credits are different for each of your characters. So one of my characters might have like no credits at all. I can't buy anything. I have to, go farm. And some of my other characters have, 400, 500, 600,000 credits. Oh, got hardwired out of that. I'm just showing you guys a little taste of what the conflict caches give you. Now, this is, like I said, very easy to do. You can do this in conflict and also the dark zone. I know a lot of you don't like the dark zone, however, it does help you out quite a bit. And every time you extract in the dark zone, it goes to your deliveries in your stash. So you could farm in the dark zone all day on one character, and then by the end of that day, go to your hardcore character and then completely empty out your deliveries on your hardcore character, and then next thing you know, you have a decent build. Because we all know this game is completely centered around what build you're using, how you're using it, and then the rest of it, I guess, would be player skill. But a majority of this game is just what build you're using and how you're using it. So let's go over what I got. It doesn't look like I've got much. I mean, that's a nice converted SMG9. I guess I could keep that. KSG with close and personal. That's actually a good one. I could roll damage to targets at a cover. Let's see. But yeah, the rest of it looks like it's nothing much. Now they did update the conflict caches to reflect better drops, so that's good. Before it was just a way for me to get credits and materials, but at least now you can see that some of these drops are actually, they're not horrible, the rolls, they're pretty high, to be honest. But it looks like out of those 19 caches, I didn't really get much. Maybe a couple weapons. Alright, so get rid of those. Nothing big there. Now, the next part I wanted to show you guys is the rewards you get. So the problem with the Division 2, Year 2, and Hardcore is that you get 0 rewards. There is absolutely nothing. No achievements, no patches, no apparel items, nothing that is given to you outside of level 30 for hardcore mode, which in my opinion is a huge letdown, because a majority of my time was spent in New York farming all this solo, and then come to find out there's absolutely nothing given to you at the end. However, if you start a hardcore character, I believe it is level 2, you get this hat right here. This is called the YOLO hat. Now you can see right there, Memento Mori cap is reward to those brave souls who laugh in the face of death and come back to try another day. You get this yellow hat, I believe it is level 2 of hardcore mode. Now outside of that, that is the only appearance item you get out of hardcore mode is this YOLO hat. I would much rather like to see other things added, but again, I'm not sure. Now as far as patches, you do get a few patches for hardcore mode. However, they are all level 30 based. So I'll show you the ones that I have, and then I'll show you the one patch that I do not have. So starting off with this one that I'm wearing, this one is Hardcore Tidal Basin. You get this when you defeat Tidal Basin on hardcore mode, and that basically shows, the game that you beat it year 1, quote unquote beat the game. Because after Tidal Basin, you enter the end game, then you get up to gear score 500, and so on and so forth. Now the next patch you get is right here. This is the hardcore gear distinction patch. This one you get just for having a gear score 500 or greater build. Very easy to do. Like I just told you before, if you go to the Dark Zone, go to conflict, just fill up your deliveries section of your stash. You can go to your hardcore character, and as soon as you hit level 30, you can easily get over gear score 500. However, that will be a lot harder nowadays because everyone's level 40. So all the gear that you extract and all the gear that you get from conflict caches are going to be level 40. So in that case, you're going to have to go all the way through New York to get all the good drops. My dude's elbow is pretty jacked up there for a second. Alright, so those are the two. I believe there is one more hardcore patch that I've gotten, and then there's one missing. Right here. Here we go. So hardcore capital building. This is your first stronghold that you have to do in the division. Look at his elbow. Shoot. Anyways, so you get a patch for doing your first stronghold, you get a patch for doing your last stronghold, and then you get a patch for getting gear score 500. Now the one that I do not have, and it's pretty self-explanatory, it is the hardcore raid patch. Now let's see if I can find this really quick. Probably not. Probably be under service. Oh, it was not under service. Tactical, maybe? Huh. Oh, teamwork, of course. There we go. Alright, so this is the one patch that I do not have, and it is the hardcore raid patch. In fact, the only person on YouTube or anything like that that I've seen even have this patch would be Pure Prime. So shout out to that dude. Go check him out. Just type in Pure Prime, and I'm sure you'll see his YouTube channel pop up. But when hardcore mode first came out, it was kind of like the thing to see who could get a hardcore raid completed, because if you die during that raid, you lose your character forever. So a lot of people were trying to do this. However, the problem that I faced is that I don't even know 8 people that have hardcore characters. So if you do have a hardcore character, let me know in the comment section below. If you're on Xbox, maybe we could do a raid. Because this one, you just have to do the Dark Hours raid, and I'm sure that if we could get 8 people with pretty nice builds together, we could knock out that raid in a flash, especially the Dark Hours raid. But again, no patches, no apparel items, nothing like that for year 2, and nothing for the new raid at all. So they're going to have to update this in some way, give us some new patches, something like that, and go from there. But overall, the game in hardcore mode is pretty fun. It keeps you on your toes because you know you can't die, so you're always constantly watching your back. You take things probably half as fast as you normally would, because yes, this game can be very easy. However, hardcore mode just shows you that there's sometimes, you know, you're a little complacent and the enemies, you know, get you. But alright, you guys, I am Kamikazevondoom. That is my full review on hardcore mode, how to do it, what rewards you get, what rewards you don't get, how I would fix it, and all that jazz. So again, hope you enjoyed it. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.